you cannot control what people say. You cannot. And if you try, you're going to fail. You can't. So anything you put out there, you have to know it's going to be subject to criticism.
But I would want to know, I know this content creation has another downside that people don't talk about. There's this part of getting addicted to the numbers. You want the numbers.
Oh my gosh.
You don't even look, people don't even look at the value they're giving. They're just wanting the attention, the following and all of that. How can somebody combat that when they're getting into this content creation field? Because it's going to be a big thing in the world. And it is starting.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a point where I was like, if I don't get 1,000 likes in an hour, I'm going to take down the post.
You're lying.
No.
What has been your hardest part so far?
There's something my trainer said to me, and I'll never forget. He said, if you're not disciplined enough to take care of your body, how can you be disciplined in other areas of your life? Absolutely. And that stuck with me. I think, for example, for me, it's not motivation that gets me through the gym. Half the time, I don't feel motivated, guys, even like 3/4 of the time. But it's just this system of, I have to go.
Do you have like one memorable time you're like, this was my favorite shooting, and what made it your favorite? Yeah. Welcome back to my channel and podcast BU. I'm so excited to be back here and I hope you are doing amazing. I'm so excited for who we have today. I am graced by Nadia Matovu. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a content creator, entrepreneur, you name it. I'm so happy to have you here, honestly.
I'm happy to be here. Hi, finally.
I know,
right?
This was in the works for a long time.
A long time, finally.
First of all, tell me about yourself, because I got to know you like 1.5 years ago when I started content creation, and I'll tell myself I'll never get to this level.
Please.
Because your content is crisp, it's clear, and I'm sure there's like a young person out there that follows and is like, how can I get there? But before we get to that, tell us about yourself. How did you start content creation?
So I always credit my friend Lucy, who you know,
yes,
for getting me involved in content creation. After I gave birth to my daughter, I left the corporate world, kind of resigned. I was like, I want to be a mom. And I've always liked taking pictures and just curating pictures on Instagram, but nothing serious or business-wise. And then she was like, hey, there's this hair brand that likes your pictures and they want to work with you. And I was like, okay. And then that's kind of when I learned what influencing is slowly, and then content creation slowly, and then I fell in love. This was like 2018.
But at the time, that's when influencing was starting.
Yeah, it was like just starting. Now it's a thing. I feel like back then it wasn't like, no one could say I'm an influencer, I'm a content creator. It was still very like gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been your hardest part so far? Because I understand you're a mom, you have to balance other things you do. But I know content creation is a lot of work. You who's watching, you know, there's a lot of things that go on in the background. But how do you balance all of that?
It's not easy. I think content creation, at least where I'm from, Uganda, for those of you who don't know, from Uganda, it's not yet a stable industry in the sense it's not like a 9 to 5. When you have a 9 to 5, you sign your contract, you know, I'm going to work every day, I'm doing this every day, and we're still building that. So it's very, for me at least, one-off kind of, I'll work with someone maybe for a few months, but it's not consistent. That's why personally I don't do it full time.
Yeah.
It's more like a hobby that I turned into kind of a business-ish, but yeah. So I think the hardest part is consistency, just because the industry itself in Uganda isn't quite there in regards to consistency.
Okay, but I would want to know, I know this content creation has another downside that people don't talk about. There's this part of getting addicted to the numbers. You want the numbers.
Oh my gosh.
You don't even look, people don't even look at the value they're giving. They're just wanting the attention, the following and all of that. How can somebody combat that when they're getting into this content creation field? Because it's going to be a big thing in the world. And it is starting.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a point where I was like, if I don't get 1,000 likes in an hour, I'm going to take down the post.
You're lying.
No. I was like, so I'd watch. I'd be like, okay, it's 1 hour. I only got 998 likes. Where's the 2 more likes?
Yes.
And it consumed me so much, and it just wasn't healthy. And it was no longer a passion. It was kind of like, oh, I have to reach these targets, these numbers. I think it's different if maybe you have a contract with a brand, then it's understandable. You have KPIs you have to reach. But when it's just you creating the content you love, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the numbers. Don't.
When I started, I felt that part
Really?
too. I was like, okay, this video is doing well. Okay, this one did not do well. Meaning, I look terrible. I'm doing
No.
terrible. Then
Oh
I
my
want to put it
God.
down. Like, the brain has a way of
Can you
just
even
lying
look
to you.
terrible?
Come
Don't
on.
lie to us.
Don't
She's
hype
lying
me
to us.
up. No, but I know there are people who are like very inspired by your content.
Thank
For
you.
example, today I went to get my makeup done, and the lady that did my makeup was like, "You met Nadia? How does she do it?" and stuff. Are there like any values you stand by that help you, not in this content creation field, but like you as a person, that help you apply in this work that you do?
Authenticity.
Yeah.
So when I started off in content, I was very lost. I would do a lot of makeup videos because it was trending at the time, and I was like, I have to jump on this. I hated making them. I wasn't authentic. I don't like doing my own makeup. Like I can do it, but I hate it. So sitting there and videoing it wasn't enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yet I'd go on camera and be like, hey guys, I'm doing my makeup.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was like in tears. I was like, I'm so tired. I don't like this. So I told myself, I'll never make content I don't enjoy making. For example, I'm not good at get ready with me videos. I don't know how y'all do it. I hate it. I hate it. Like, I want to get ready in peace, not think about my angles, the lighting, then my hair. Like, and it's really trending. So I just decided I'm not going to go with what's hot right now. I'm going to do what I like. And funny enough, when I followed that path, that's when Meta came knocking.
Tell us about
Yes.
Meta.
So I started this series called Luxurious Uganda, Luxurious Africa. For those of you who don't know, I love showing off Africa, showing how bougie we are, how luxurious we are.
You need to check out her content. Honestly,
Thank you.
I got to learn about your country, to be specific,
Really?
through your content.
Oh,
I was
wow.
Like, there's another side of Uganda that I
Yes.
don't know.
Oh my gosh, we're very luxurious.
Yeah.
So when I started concentrating on that, funnily enough, it wasn't my most popular content in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
But I remember getting I think it was a DM from someone. They're like, we're with Meta and we'd love to work with you as a brand ambassador. And I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
I was like, And eventually my brand manager intervened and we found out it was real. And I was just like, wow, like, wow. Yeah, so that was exciting.
So when you attended the event, I saw on your Instagram, are there things you learned that you didn't know?
Yeah.
Or did you already know because you had been in the field of making content?
There's quite a few things I didn't know. For example, with reels, the first 3 seconds of a reel are the most important. And I had no idea.
Yeah.
I literally changed the way I do my reels because of that. Like I used to do first 3 seconds, maybe B-roll and like a story. No, now it's like first 3 seconds have to be where the action is at.
Yeah.
Captions, your captions matter. Even captions in the video are
The color.
Everything matters.
Yeah.
I think reels under a minute,
Yeah.
stuff like that, just technicalities. And yeah, it was a good networking event as well. I met a lot of other content creators.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But going back to reels, I've noticed these days it's not even about the 3 seconds, it's about using the trending sounds. Is that a thing? Does it play a part?
I think it does. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't work in Meta like that, so I'm not sure. But I think so. I read somewhere that you have to use an audio that's under 10,000 likes or 10,000 uses.
Okay.
And then it will blow up or go viral, your reel. But I don't know how true that is. But trending audios make a big difference. They really, really do.
I hope you're taking notes because I'm learning too.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm still doing this. But before we keep going into content, I would want to ask you a bit more of yourself. I noticed you like working out. She's very consistent, by the way. That thing that I'm not good at. Yeah,
I try.
Very consistent. And I would want to know, what have you felt different ever since you started taking care of your body? You've already had kids. You don't look like it.
Oh, please, first of all,
I don't know
this angle is, but in the waist, I'm trying small. I think with working out, there's something my trainer said to me, and I'll never forget. He said, if you're not disciplined enough to take care of your body, how can you be disciplined in other areas of your life? Absolutely. And that stuck with me. He's like, literally, you're not doing it just to look good, but just your fitness. I'm thinking about my future. I'm getting old now. I'm not as young as I used to be.
You don't look like it.
Thank you. So I just prioritize fitness, and it's hard in the beginning. It's really, really hard. But now it's like my lifestyle. I have to work out.
How long have you been consistent now?
I'd say 2 years, very consistent. I'd say the first time I ever went to a gym was when I was 16. I was really young, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And it was just like cardio. I was at school, cardio, this and that. But I think consistent for the last 2 years after I had my son.
Yeah.
I just said I have to dedicate myself to the gym, and yeah, ever since then, it's been 3 to 4 times a week of training. And it's good for my mental health as well. I feel good if I'm feeling sad, angry, happy. I just go to the gym and I just feel good. Not just like my body feels good, my mind feels good,
Has it added to your confidence, and not confidence, but like discipline, just how you carry things?
Definitely. I think, for example, for me, it's not motivation that gets me through the gym. Half the time I don't feel motivated, guys, even like 3/4 of the time. But it's just this system of I have to go. I have to go, discipline. So now it's helping me, even my content. It's like, I have to post. I have to do this. Because it's so easy to be like, I'll do it tomorrow. But now it's like, no, I have to do this. So it's helping me slowly in other parts of my life, content-wise, work-wise. Like, it's so easy to be like, I'll do that Zoom meeting tomorrow. But no, it's like, do it now. So yeah, it is pouring into other elements of my life.
Going back into content creation, I've realized that one of the hardships that people go through is caring about what people think. How did you get through it? And not in terms of perfection, but you know, what's the attitude you need to have to get to that point where you're like, I know someone might hate on this video, but I'm still going to post it. Yeah.
I don't even know where to start because, I mean, not even just in content creation, if you have social media, period, I learned that, one, you cannot control what people say. You cannot. And if you try, you're going to fail. You can't. So anything you put out there, you have to know it's going to be subject to criticism. Anything and everything you put out there. Unfortunately, it's not kumbaya, let's hold hands on the internet. So I just have this mindset of, if it's out there, it's out there. If people criticize it, that's their opinion. And I have thick skin. I have really thick skin. I don't let it bother me. I mean, think of it like this. If you're worried about what someone's saying on Instagram, are you going to worry about someone taking a screenshot and putting it in the WhatsApp group? You'll go crazy.
You'll go crazy.
You'll go crazy.
Oh, I'll give you a short story related to that. I had gone out and then I met people randomly. And I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Belize. This person went ahead, looked for me on Instagram, took a screenshot, and sent my picture in a WhatsApp group of like 15 guys. And then somehow they left the phone on the table. And I was like, wait, that's me. You know? And then it became a whole thing. Of course, I didn't fight and stuff. I'm like, that's kind of inappropriate. It's disrespectful. I just met you. And it was in a group setting. So I was like, maybe this is the first person that I've seen. There's other people doing it. I was like, you know what? Do you. As long as I'm doing my passion, and I think that's what everyone needs to adapt. If it's something you like, stop caring about what people think. We're in an era where social media is consuming people's minds. The likes, the glamour, imposter syndrome is a thing. So one attitude I'll definitely stick by is that one, that you should not care about what people think. Otherwise, you'll not grow in this industry. But while we're still on this aspect, what do you think is the future of content creation? It's still not lucrative to many people, but it's now getting there. But do you kind of see a future to it?
Definitely.
And what it requires for you to penetrate this this heavy market?
So I studied international business management and marketing in my master's many years ago. I won't let you know my age, but yeah. And funny enough, when I was studying it, we had a whole unit called social media marketing. And if I could go back to what my lecturer was saying, he's like, this is the future. We won't have billboards. We won't have radio advertising. It's going to move towards social media, which is true. I think, especially content creators and influencers, we are the moving billboards. We're the walking, talking billboards for brands. People trust the opinions of others. If I see a billboard, it can't tell me what a product does. It can't tell me, it can't review a product for me. So I think we're becoming very important in regards to business and the marketing strategies. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I'm hoping it'll get bigger and better. Obviously, different countries, it's more developed. Some other places, Uganda, we're getting there. So I'm not sure. Let me ask you a question. How is it here in Rwanda?
Content creation?
Yeah, content creation is starting.
Honestly,
really good.
It's still starting. Businesses now are starting to see that you need an influencer who has a certain following to work with. But one advice I would give to people, be careful of the people you work with, because that can put your name down. So it depends on the values that you hold. But in Rwanda, to be honest, it's starting, it's getting there. But I kind of compare it to like this, the UK, the US. It's a whole thing. And I'm like, do you think Africa, we're all going to get there?
I honestly think we are. I think I used to also compare to say, how come like content creators in Europe get like, you know, £50,000 for a post, and how come it's so different? And I said, you know what, stop. Comparison is the thief of joy, or something like that.
Yes.
I'm trying to sound smart. So I stopped. I said, let me concentrate on my market and how we're developing. We're completely different. So I think eventually companies will move towards that.
Yeah.
But also you have to remember content creation, the internet, how many people have access to the internet. So from a business, this is my businesswoman side coming out.
Listen.
So I think in regards to content creation being used by businesses for advertising, Africa is slowly getting there.
Yeah.
We have a long way to go, but I'm seeing progression, and that's better than nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it too. I just know AI is the era we're in, and people need to accept it. We should not fight it. We just need to learn to work with it, because some people complain. But one thing I'm loving about our country, Rwanda, we have a new program where now smartphones are at an affordable rate for everyone, as low as 20,000 Rwandan francs.
Oh, wow.
So I think that is another way of them trying to make sure that everyone is on these platforms, so that everybody is plugged in.
That's really, really good. Oh my gosh, that's really nice. That's a nice initiative.
It is very good. But I would want to also ask you, in your journey of content creation, do you have like one memorable time you're like, this was my favorite shooting, and what made it your favorite?
My favorite?
Yeah.
I have so many worsts. I know.
No, we're looking at the good.
I'm looking at the good. I think I really enjoyed when I was pregnant. I don't know what, the second time around. The first time I tried, the second time around, I loved making content when I was pregnant. And that's actually when Luxurious Uganda started, when I was pregnant. And that was nice, like the 4th, 5th month of pregnancy. And I really liked shooting mommy content-ish. I don't do it as much anymore. But yeah, I think my pregnancy journey, I did a whole series on my YouTube channel called This Is Me, when I was pregnant, and check it out, guys. And I liked that.
What's the page?
Mrs. Matovu on YouTube.
Matovu.
Yeah. So I have a series called This Is Me. Yeah.
Okay. There's people out there. There's either young, grown. I remember there was a friend of mine who made a comment, and they were like, this content creation field is not for the mothers or like people who are mature, because now there's young hot kids on the block that are they have so much creativity and stuff. What advice can you give them in relation to how far you've come with this?
First of all, I need to know who said that.
It's the fear though. It's the fear that comes, and people make all these assumptions. But
you know what, I'll be really real. I don't think I've ever said so on camera. They're definitely, depending on the kind of content you do, there's what I call it girl content. And you're not going to be an it girl forever. Definitely not. I'll give an example, and I hope I don't get crucified for this. At one point, Kim Kardashian was the it girl of the Kardashian family.
True.
She's matured into a businesswoman. Look at Skims. I don't know if you know, they just signed with the NBA a deal. Yeah. So she's matured from an it girl kind of to a mother and a businesswoman.
Yeah.
And now Kylie Jenner is the it girl because she's younger, she's hot. So I think her content, in my eyes, from my perspective, is more it girl. I don't do it girl content, and by it girl content, I mean like, how can I explain? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Still luxurious. Like I do luxury in order to show mostly my country and Africa. Then there's luxury of showing your lifestyle and just being the it girl of the moment. That's popular. That's popping. Personally, I don't think that has a time frame, I think. So I understand what that person is saying, but they're looking at one niche, that it girl niche. Look at the motherhood niche. They're saying a mother can't be a content creator. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many mom content creators there are? Yes. That's a very, very good niche, because I think as mothers, it can even be a support system for someone out there who's going through something. They watch a YouTube video and they're like, oh my God, we're going through the same thing with pregnancy, advice, reviews. I don't think content creation has an age limit at all. It doesn't.
So you who has thought like that, please take her advice.
Yeah, please, no. Even, I don't know if I'll still be doing content at 70. I don't know. Who knows? I don't think content creation has an age limit. But
I feel like also that applies to any creative industry. For example, even the music industry. People are like, oh, there's youngins coming in with the great voices and stuff. I'm like, we have legends like Beyonce, okay? Beyonce is a normal person. You just have to be very disciplined, passionate, and obviously you follow up with what you have planned for yourself. And also setting goals.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's something you do?
Yeah, I do. In my whole life, everything I do, I set goals. And I think as a content creator, you have to know that your content is there, like the longevity of it matters. I'm not a fan of viral trends just because you can do one great piece of content and then that's it. It's kind of like a one-hit wonder. You know how we have like one-hit wonders that make those amazing songs like, oh my God, this is going to show my age. You know Who Let the Dogs Out? Do you remember that song? I don't know why. I don't know why. I do not know why. That's the first song. Oh my God, I'm so old. I should have said.
I know it.
You know, I even forgot who sang it, but at that moment it was like, you know, everyone was singing. I'm not going to sing. I can't. But everyone was singing that song and then they kind of dropped. Beyonce, I love Beyonce. Beyonce has been steady from when she was 17 to now she's 40 something. I don't know how old she is.
But you know what's beautiful about that? That's the beauty of building your craft. There is something that I've learned, that things that come so fast don't last long.
Thank you.
Like anything, even when you get into a field, you're like, things are too fast. There is power in learning, the failures, the up and down, the low moments. That's what makes you stronger. That's what builds you. And I'm sure you have endured this and you're like, yeah, I've gotten where I'm at because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And just, my dad always says, easy come, easy go. It's a saying, easy come, easy go, just like that. For me personally, I'm at the point of, so I have goals. I have a vision board. And at the beginning of my content creation, it was, I want to work with this brand and be a brand ambassador for this person and that person. And I kind of not achieved everything I want to achieve, but I think for me, the height when I was like, oh my God, I've achieved something and felt validated. I mean, I don't need validation, but it was nice to feel like my journey has brought me somewhere, was when Meta made me a brand ambassador. That for me was like, wow, like I've really achieved something, which is nice. And then from that, my mindset changed. You know, and for me, it's still about doing content creation, but no longer about, I want to work with this brand, I want to work with that brand. I'm trying to build my own brand as Mrs. Matovu. And that's when I got into doing my hair. And building my hairline. Because if you want to know how influential you are as an influencer, try selling your own product.
It's different.
Let me tell you something.
You're like...
I was happy. My hair sold out 6 weeks. I was like, yes. But it will show you the true power of your influence. Make a product, sell it, and then you'll see, okay, I can do this. It was challenging. I was very nervous, very scared. I teamed with Talia Froze, their hair company in Uganda, and I remember telling them, guys, I don't know if we're going to sell out, you guys. And then I called my husband. I was like, baby, you have to buy all the boxes in case I don't sell out. Just buy all of them, okay? And it went great, and now we're launching again.
Tell us more about that.
I don't know when this video is coming out, but soon 25th November, we have our new hairline coming out. Human hair, ponytails, different styles.
Is this the one you're wearing?
This is the old one I'm wearing. So this is a Nadia from the first collection. That was premium synthetic. The new collection came about because the old one was so good and it sold out. And we're like, let's do it again. And I'm focusing on, building the Mrs. Matovu brand. And hair is just the beginning.
I love what you're doing, and I just want to wish you all the best. I think it's impactful. Do you have anything you would want to do here in our country, in Rwanda?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
In relation to content or in something else?
In relation to content, moving in silence.
Hashtag moving in silence.
Definitely in relation to content, but mostly business. So the reason I'm even here is I came for the WTTC tourism conference, but I came as a businesswoman, not as a content creator. And it's so funny. Someone saw me and they're like, "Oh, Nadia Matovu, I know you're influencer." I was like, "No, I'm a businesswoman." So today is my businesswoman phase. Today I'm in my suit. I'm a businesswoman. So I think more of the business side. Yeah.
As we wrap up, what advice would you give in general to, especially from where you started to how far you've come? What advice would you give to people who aspire to get to your level? Or she gets shy when I say
I know, I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, but yeah, just to grow, basically.
In terms of content?
Content, yeah. And business and motherhood.
Oh my gosh.
All three in a bubble.
I think the best advice I can give someone is to not compare yourself to me or anyone else, because we're all coming from different paths in life. Different journeys we walk, we have different purposes. I don't want to sound like a motivational speaker, but honestly and truly, it's true. I think not comparing yourself to anyone, because I remember in the beginning of my motherhood journey, I was comparing myself a lot, especially online, to other mothers, and it was bringing me down. And I stopped doing that. So everything I do, I just do the best I can. Don't compare myself to anyone else. Yeah, consistency.
Oh, consistency.
Consistency.
That's the key.
Very
that
key.
Is the key. It's hard, but it's achievable.
Yeah, it's achievable.
You have a huge fan base in Rwanda. Just letting you know. Okay, keep doing what you're doing.
Why are you lying to me? What do you want? Oh my God.
People know you.
Oh wow.
Okay. They just don't say anything.
Okay,
but
interesting.
They're watching.
Okay.
So you have to keep delivering.
I will.
I want to thank you so much for your time. How do people reach out to you in case they have questions?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on here. Finally, you guys, we have been waiting for this to happen.
Yeah.
And you're invited to Uganda, of course.
Yes.
And we'll do some content there together. But if anyone wants to reach out to me, Instagram, Mrs.Matovu, or my YouTube at Mrs. Matovu. Yeah. That's the easiest way to reach me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
Thank you.